Okay. Good evening, guys. Yeah, let's wait up for some people to join in. And let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, this some chat. No. Okay. Hey, Richard. What's up? Yeah. I was very lazy today. I didn't want to post a video, but I prepared a few videos. But I wanted to do a quick live stream on some stuff that happened in the previous weekend and just some arm wrestling news. So let's start with the first one. I feel so bad for Lachlan Adair because I was in the same place at least twice where I was scheduled to go somewhere and then they canceled it, where you kind of prepared and they canceled it, and it's all because of COVID. But yeah, it's not good. It's um, it's a shame that the match didn't happen. That didn't have a chance to show himself. Um, yeah, the good part was Ryan Bowen took on the job on facing Milkman, beat him 3-1. Really, yeah, yeah. Sanders in chat, he's been there as well. He got his flight was cancelled to go in Turkey to face Andre Cipriano. But yeah, so Ryan took on Milkman in place of for Lachlan, and yeah, he did an amazing job. Like, say what you want about Ryan, he's really motivated on becoming better and better, and really climbing that ladder. And he's doing it consistently. He made a top guy in at like recognized top guy in from previous year or two ago look weak. To be honest, he looked better technically, tactically, and physically. So congratulations to Ryan. He did an amazing job, and um, like Lachlan wouldn't have anything to do there, in my opinion. And he made a challenge, for all the like Ben Carroll as well, for everyone, from Australia. Um, but we will talk about it later because I have tomorrow. I'm doing an arm wrestling talk with Lachlan Adair, so yeah, I will talk about it with him. And yeah, I was like, I know where Lachlan is, compared to Ryan. so, so that was very impressive. And yeah, yeah, Australian scene, at least something, at least something. We're living in this time where basically nothing happens because of COVID. But yeah, hey to Texas, hey. All my Texan friends. If I would have a cowboy hat, I would tip it off. Yeah. Um, Bagent versus Todd. Like, I have never seen. Like, first of all, uh, me and Giannis were talking day before on it, and we said like the best that I expected, like the best that I expected was that they would do a practice match, Travis and Michael, and that's all we would see. I didn't expect anything more. But the problem, like, I didn't have any problem. Like, this is, who cares what happened? The problem is people made plans because they thought, like, they made a poster and they made everything, and everyone's like waiting, like, what's gonna happen? Should be fine. It's just not. So, like real YouTubers, they made apology video. I'm still waiting on time that I will have to do my apology video because that really makes you a real YouTuber. Um, but yeah, I wanted to see at least something. I really didn't expect Travis to be real threat to Michael right now because like Michael is really focused and really in good shape, and I don't think you know where. I don't think Travis is right now. But we will. We'll. I hope we will see something at least from them. Yeah, your chat is exploding. So guys, please like the video. And if you have a chance, that's the only thing we ask from you. If you enjoy the content, and more content is gonna come out more like very soon. Um, Support us on Patreon. Patreon link is in top of the chat. So if you have a chance, long term, we will, and we are thinking about how to bring more things to the people that really support us, not just watch us, and maybe doesn't skip some ads, but really support us. So some good things are coming as soon as all this lockdown is over. Um, yeah, another one was Engin made a proposal to make a Hajmurat Zuluya versus RVJ match, which I think is great, just for RVJ to figure out, how I would say how far he is behind Zoloev. He looked like monster in nationals. Another thing is that Zoloev dynasty. The dynasty. You like newer fans that have no idea what I talk about, but older fans understand what is dynasty. So Meyerbeck, I forgot the name, the father. Yeah. So Spartak, Haji Murat, now Alan. Alan Alan Zuluev beat Artur Makarov in Russian nationals with right arm. Artur was kind of recognized as the best 75 kilo guy, even though he lost in the Worlds. Everyone's like, nah, he's still the man. Alan beat him, had a real war, and beat him again. Maybe I haven't seen something. I will find the whole class. I want to watch it again because it was kind of mess. The live stream they did, they were showing three tables at the same time. Minions were tuning in, but we just couldn't figure out all the stuff. Um, yeah, it's so impressive. Like looking at that club, first of all, Vladikaukas crew, that they are just phenomenal arm wrestlers, and the training methods are really really top notch. They understand the sport, and they just creating these monster after monster, like world top level, like all the time. So yeah, but what I heard last information, Haji Murat versus RVJ, was that RVJ couldn't take time off his job, and he cannot come right now to face Haji Murat. Um, I don't care like who RVJ is facing. I just need him to. I just want to see him versus any top European, so we can kind of figure out where his level is. And it's not just having one match, and if it goes wrong, it's no, like multiple matches with different guys throughout the time, and then we can figure out the stuff a little bit better. The rankings between North America and Europe, Asia. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But like Haji Murat is. Yeah, sorry, I was reading a comment, but Haji is so impressive. I want to do like a video on him just to talk about like his journey, because he kind of fell off at one point and then came back even stronger. And it like the guy really has lost a few times in I don't know how many years in his class. So yeah, it's very impressive that he still has motivation to continue doing this. He brings his younger brother in it, and yeah, just the dynasty, Yeah. I do not think that there's someone known to the arm wrestling world below 90 kilo who can beat Haji. I think if you put Haji and Sasho in a real match, there might be a there might be a chance for Sasho to do something. But the Haji that we saw was so strong, so dominant. It's just, yeah. Yeah, let's take a look at the chat a little bit. If you have any questions, just ask away. One more time, please like the video right now if you're watching. Um, I did reaction videos that you guys kind of liked it. I did one on arm breaks. That was it was so painful for me to watch, and then to stitch it together in the editing software. It was so hard. Arm, and I want to do like it was more intentional for educational purposes. So I want someone who thinks that arm wrestling is bad just to watch the whole video where I explain mostly. And then we should make a video where I would say like, let's watch competition and wait for arm break. And I would watch like, I don't know, I would patch together how many, let's say 40 classes from World Arm Wrestling Championship, and there is maybe one or none, and that's thousands of matches. So people like some people who watch that video, they're like, "Oh no, arm wrestling is so." I'm like, "How about you watch some soccer, some football game, some basketball game, and tell me how many injuries happened in that 90 minutes, hour? Just tell me." And then just let's watch arm wrestling competition with multiple tables, with multiple guys, you know, and let's take a look at that. Someone's asking, you heard of Alan Zoloev? Like, take the video about 5 minutes back, you know. Um, Coach Ray, what would your middle name be if you signed a contract with WL? Like, there's like no limit isn't Devon's middle name. That's his nickname. It's not. It's his nickname. I know Sasha, and yet I do not think he can win Haji right now. Um, yeah, I believe like favorite is Hajimurat. Like super good hook puller, maybe has a chance. Some really good top roller, like top notch, world class, low hand top roller. Something similar to Tautiev, to Yanis style. Uh, Stronger plummet, but again, yeah. Um, when will okay? Let's take a look at the sub coach. Hey, Coolburn. I know. Okay, Zoloev best giant killer match ever. Yeah, that was a great match. When will your gym open again? Man, I have no idea. I really have no idea when my gym is open. 70 people watching, 31 likes. This is not good for arm wrestling. Not at all. Um, Coach Ray, Latvian have really good short. Do you ever sing in short? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Have you? No one needs that. Hey man, oh sorry, I didn't know you talked about him. That's why I explained. It's cool. It's cool. Check out. Great point about soccer and arm wrestling. I'm going to use that when people talk about being dangerous. Yeah, just point to basically any other sport, any other contact sport, even a game, any like if you go to boxing gym, and if like our sparring matches, usually we will not get hurt in sparring matches. You go to any other sport, wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, whatever, you know, I rest my case, mic drop, and things like that. Um, does this win against Milkman mean that Ryan can beat you now? I don't know. I believe Ryan is strong. Like that gave me a lot of motivation. I'm like, man, like Ryan is killing it. Yeah. Where can I see Engen post about RVJ? The last post in Arm Wrestling was about him leaving Facebook. Oh, that's maybe I missed something, but it shouldn't be today. Like I think today he posted that the match will not happen. Okay. You're probably more likely to get injured from walking down the stairs than pulling a pro. Yes. Perfect. That's really perfect. My gym is opening 2 weeks. Can't wait to play with my hands. Oh, yeah, man. The UK has the worst situation. Like not worst, like bad situation. So I hope everything is opening up and you can get back to training and we can get all back to training. Okay, where did we go? Have you been Hungary? Yes, I've been to World Championship. I have been to for some other occasions. One of the most beautiful places is yeah, the Hungary. I really love that. I will go there. Like I think the Europeans were supposed to be last year there, and I was really happy to go there, but it didn't happen. What was just gonna make it happen? Okay. Did you spar with Hermes? No, I have not been on table with Hermes. Your feelings of Matt Mask versus Gasparini match. If they make that match happen, why not? I feel like Hermes and Mask is kind of, it's a Ma- Hermes has a bad feeling. He believes he could have won Matt, and he wants just to try and beat him, and tries to, that's what he wants. But for it to happen, I don't know. I really hope they will because it's very like everyone's calling out everyone, and we can't travel, and it's very all these things come together. But I hope at some point we will get there. Um, have you ever eaten burnt pancakes to gain weight? No, I haven't. No, no, I'm sorry. Love your content, bro. Do you believe that you don't need to lift heavy if you're doing a lot of table time? Like no, lifting heavy means you are getting strong. I believe you need to get strong. If the strength isn't the issue for you to do some things or win a match, then yes. But it's always the strength aspect that will the domination part. How if you can say sustain that power, not lose it, you don't need that endurance. You just need overwhelming force. So strength, like I have seen a lot of guys because okay, there are people who can get strong when pulling on table, just table, and they don't need to do weightlifting training. But I haven't seen a lot of those. Like not a lot of those. There are guys that they will come to practice and they will just do practice but not train, and you can feel it if you're the one who's training. Maybe you will be sore more, but you have more power in it. Treasure face high elites, not limited. Coach Ray, do you think Sasha, are you Conjure Corps, you're saying Sasha is ready to face high elite? Like Sasha is elite as they come. To say that Sasha is not elite is a greatest disrespect. He has more WAF titles than most of the guys that you are talking about, just because they are more popular, just because they speak English, just because they've been on posters. This guy has been killing it. Like everyone's making all these claims like who's strong and who's not, and winning this tournament makes me good and bad. I will stick to whatever most of the people who have been to WAF Worlds will say. If you go to tournament and there are 20 countries there, and there are two athletes from each country there, and you beat all of them, most likely you're the best in that day, at least in that day in the world. If like I have been to WAF World Championship, I had 47 people in my class from I don't know 30 nations. That's legit. If you win, you are the best. Sasha has done it. I don't know how many times, and just to say that not think that he's elite because he is more active on this. He goes to World Championship. Look at this way: you have your favorite NBA team. If that team wins the cup, wins the title, and then you have world championships, which consist of athletes from each nation. You cannot have athletes from different nations competing. They need to have same passports, so they from all nations. In world championship, you represent your country. You do not represent yourself. And winning that is the world championship because world championship is made from countries. It's not athletes that are competing. Some sports will take this wrong directions, but it's always been about countries. Russian team, Latvian team, Ukrainian team, Turkish team, all of those teams are competing against each other. The athletes of course win, but it's the country that won. and there's no better representation than WAF right now. The highest absolute level in arm wrestling. They're doing doping tests. They're doing most of most of the things right. They have the toughest competition. I don't know, and I haven't been in details, but I think Sarah is coming back, and someone's like, yeah, but why? Because the toughest competition is there. It's always been. It's you can go to Zloty tour, and when there are no doping controls, it's kind of very wild west, and it's really hard to win it. But when it comes to the toughest competition on the planet with most regulations, it's WF. There's no doubt about in my mind, and you can argue what you want. This is why, like, I have seen so many people posting that they win like tournaments, and someone will call that tournament World League or something. This is why you have PL champions, because PAL. This is why you have WL champions, because WL. But it's arm wrestling world champion. There's only one each year in each class with each arm. There's only one each year, And if you think you can beat them, qualify for your team, go there, win. If you have to do doping test, do a doping test, prove that you're better. But claiming and some things like that, and plus there's a huge difference between that all this like RVG talked about it, like uh, doping in arm wrestling, and how people will say, well, it doesn't work. Well, yeah, if it doesn't work, why it's banned? What are you saying? Like, guys are putting a lot of muscles, and they're like, if you go there and compete on even field as even as you can, it's much better for the sport and for everyone. Yeah, I didn't want to get in this argument, but saying that Sasha is ready to face Elite is kind of, man, disrespectful. I'm sorry about that. It's nothing against you. It's just I don't think it's kind of right information. Imagine that, saying that, like, I think he has more world champion titles than Giannis has, and you would say that to Giannis, like, are Giannis is ready to face Elite? Or or same thing to Vlad or Engin, you know. Um, Thumbs up, people. Raise inside puller. I try to be. My favorite troll account is still, and on Kostadin Casemiro. You're a man. Man, you so many questions. I ran too long. What is the most impressive lift that you have seen or heard Lachlan doing since he was coached by us? Like, everything is impressive. Back pressure, side pressure. I think side pressure is very impressive. All those things. Um, are you sad about Michael Todd Levin situation? You know, yeah, I would love to see that match. I think that's the match to make. But might be not good. Can we see? Can we see Jans versus Matt Mask? Yeah, well, when someone's like making these, yeah, make Matt Mask drop down to 80 kilos. Then you can, let's see him face Giannis. Giannis is 75 kilos and Matt Mask 110. What the hell are you talking about? Almost slipped out. Almost slipped out. um, yeah, okay. Planning on going to March early May to Dubai with Giannis. Larry looking juiced. Uh, Not yet. Do you think Devon is juicing? I don't know. Will there be undercard for Todd and Devon? I think they should make one. Uh, then that if they make one, yeah, that would be cool. But because there are a lot of options they can pick, and some of the athletes that they brought in there could compete. How big are you? How many inches can you beat Luke? Sorry, how to pop the map mask unit. Okay. Border. Okay, there's a comment that is in, I don't know what language. I believe it's a spam man. Yes or not? Yeah. No, thank you. Good. Um, What is next for you in your arm wrestling career, right? All things considered with COVID EDC at the moment. Um, I'm waiting. I'm like for past 2 weeks I started getting a little bit back in shape and going really hard and start preparing for Frode if it happens because I hope in August it happens. Kind of was focusing on fixing my left arm. I have some issues with it. It's almost gone completely. My right is really good, but yeah, I'm starting my prep at least 3 4 months for this. Not going too hard, but just getting back in some shape. I haven't lifted heavy since November. Like back pressure, I have not lifted more than 30 kilos. So, and before that, we had me and Jan, so we found like videos, and I'm like, what happened here? We were lifting 60 kilos, 50 kilos in different lifts, and you felt that everything was holding. And I feel like this is not here. The hand, my hand has like it's gotten much much stronger than before, but I believe my back pressure is not there and side pressure is not there. Uh, but yeah, fraud, of course, fraud, and anything in between. If I have a chance to compete in Latvia, there are a lot of guys, that I would love to arm wrestle for real in a match. But yeah, of course. Okay, do you think Hermes will pull Matt Mass and then to top eight? Yeah, I think Hermes is aiming for top eight. He will go to Slotty and try to win it for sure. Mhm. Love all your videos on this channel. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Anyone you'd like to match for the next time you're here? I don't care. I really don't care. It's not like I want to have a match, but wherever we are, I would love to go to competition to compete. I'm more of I like one on one. I'm kind of cool, but I really love tournaments. I love the unexpected. I really love that. So if whenever we're going there, I hope we can get in some tournaments like we did. If I go together with Giannis for WL for Giannis, and then I hope I can get some tournament in. That would be awesome. Is Norman Thompson still active? I can't remember. No, Norman's is like there's nothing to do now, but he he came to one of our practices and kind of kicked most of the guys' asses really easily. And but yeah, Norman's is if the worlds happen, he will go to worlds. But yeah, Larry posted 6 minutes ago. Undercard is Gennady versus Jerry. Oh, I have to check it out. That's awesome. That's awesome. What do you think of this? A Western Championship for North America, South America, and then the Eastern Championship for Europe versus 10 1 month later, and the winners will fight. So right now, I'm not like Cesar arm wrestling. So right now, how it looks, there like if you ask me and most anyone who has competed in WAF and is from Europe, they will say there are two major tournaments that are really hard. WAF Worlds, of course, Zloty is out of the option, but WAF Worlds and European Championship. European Championship is that hard that European Championship is kind of harder to win than World Championship just because of the level of competitors and they're more dense. So 20 guys, let's say from 15 nations, are competing in the same class and all of them are the guys that usually place on top 20 in WOF Worlds or even higher, the top guys. And Worlds is a little bit easier because there sometimes are guys that are not that high level and they just, from different countries, they came in and you have all these, we call them free rides. And that's what's happening. Europeans is the benchmark, WOF Worlds is right there as well. The other countries are like Asia. It's kind of hard to do Asian championship because most of the time it's Kazakh dominant and maybe some from Uzbekistan or maybe some other country will do something. But all the time it's Kazakh. So there's nothing in Asia. I don't think if they have done at least like North America and South America championship because like Europeans, it's the same way as there's continental championship and there's world championship. This shouldn't be the line. Like it's too little competitors to go there. So if you just pick like three guys from each class go to worlds, no, it's Worlds, it's continental, it's worlds. Every continent should have it, But the problem is they don't, at least the FluF. So we have Europeans. I know Asia. I think Africa hosted something like that, but I have not heard anything from North America and South America, or they're doing the same thing. But I don't think it was ever done. Or like Australia, have they done it continental? Because they're okay. So that would be the dream. You create these continental championships because if you're like a country that's recognized in arm wrestling, all like continental championship and world championship are counted. They will pay money for if you win European championship. So this is a big deal. This is the best of our continent. And then if you win worlds, usually will pay you more money because it's all the world together. If that makes sense to everyone. Yeah. I was kind of surprised by Artem pulling Michael today. It seems like Mike's having some problems dealing with Artem Turbo. Was it really the case? Does it look like he was having trouble or he was just doing Michael? I'm back to arm wrestling training table. I start having much pain in my only right arm. My elbow was like training. You want to take rest for 2 months, then I'm a bit. Find like everyone like I'm having pain, then I stop and then I come back and I still have pain. How about you try to figure out where you don't have pain and just arm wrestle there or train there, and slowly you might change up position because if you keep adding to it, adding, nothing changes. But if you take some pressure away, you might get better like very fast. So yeah. The winner of these tournaments get their flights and accommodations by the WAF for this annual event. It doesn't work like this. It's man, like there are no like for again, let's say basketball, you have qualification rounds for each continent to go on the finals on your continent, and then you have qualification to go to the world championship from each continent, or like EFBB rankings, things like that. Same goes to ice hockey, that's big in Latvia. Same goes to soccer. uh, Same goes to rugby and things like that. You have to qualify, but it's because it's a team sport. When you look at something that's individual, like weightlifting, you will bring your team, your country's team, to worlds, to Europeans. It's not like you go to Europeans and then you qualify for. Some sports have taken it, but most of the time, individual sports, you have your country team representing. It's not again that you represent your continent. It's you represent your country. Close grip suicide bench for my press. Recommendation from one of your videos. Hey, that's good. I love close grip bench press. Like that's one of my favorite bench presses to do. Like I feel that translates in some way to at least to some of my pressing power and elbow strength. Okay, what's the most important attribute to have become a world champion? Be better than anyone else in your class. Okay, BBJ. Okay, I learned so much from channel. Like you have talked many different topics. Thank you, man. Your top three most dominant arm wrestling countries: Kazakhstan, Russia. Number three is kind of up for debate. You can look at Georgia. You can look at some parts of Bulgaria, Ukraine. Things like that. But it's Kazakhstan, Russia, and then number three is up for debate. Just on a talent pool that is there. Coach, is anyone gonna be targeting his weight class next year? How do I know that? How do I know that? We'll see. If Oleg is coming back, you know. Coach Shay, there are Pan American Championships since 2015. Okay, I didn't know that. But are they recognized as continental championships? Because I didn't know that. Thank you for pointing that out. Arnold's is Oceania. So, but that's Arnold's. That is a completely different concept. That's completely different. Yeah, I know this arm wrestling still like the bigger we get, the more recognition we will have in all separate countries, and we make this like however you look at this, I look at this as a sport. So we need regulations, we need clear uh, championships, and we need that, and this will make sport bigger like anything does. And then all these promotions, super matches, all these things will make more sense because it's everywhere, and it will be bigger and bigger and bigger, and uh, for promoters. So I think everything goes hand in hand. uh, Ray, I train pronation with 12 kilos every day. Can I get stronger? I'm only 19. If the question is, can you get stronger? Yes, you can get stronger. Have you or any other training team type GM presses for elbow pain? I'm hearing about them. I do GM presses for my bench assistants at sometimes. It's good. It's a different like really feel the stretch of my elbow, but I cannot do them right now because of problems I have with my left hand. Coach Ray, I would love to hear your opinion of BDSM type training. Which which one of the great apes do you think you can beat? Oh man, I would have to really look into that. Yeah, do you think is top? Ray, who do you think is top 160 from North America and world? Like it's not right now, it's not clear who is where because there's no been hasn't been competition too much, at least. After WAF Worlds, we can clearly say that 70, 75 kilo guy, whoever wins WAF is right there. That's the strongest dude right now with each arm. But I cannot say. I'm so tired of these hypotheticals. I just don't know. And I have too little data to analyze it correctly and, to make my judgment on things. Um, Blood Bill Pool 80. What's your height and feet? 6'9", I guess. No, 6'8". Sorry. Okay. Do Kazakhstan have secret training? Heard they used to BDSM routine. I don't know what that is, man. Hatchlings used to claim Ukraine was the strongest arm wrestling country. That was also we still had Pushkar. Yeah, there was a good argument that like Ukraine scene has changed completely since Andre left. Like completely. I was looking at their nationals. It's strong dudes, but they have a lot of legacy, and it's big shoes to fill. So yeah, right now, I don't know. Yes, I saw Zoloev's young brother. I talk about it in the start of the video, man. Um, what? Okay, you mean 5'10"? No, I mean 6'13". Yeah, uh, I was kneeling, because how great Devon is in his presence. I'm 5'7", I think. I don't know. Like, use metric system, dudes. Why pound? Why kilo, not the pound, like RVJ said? Because it's 2.2 times stronger or bigger. So good. Um, yeah, yeah. Please like the video. Please, if you watch any of our videos, please like it. That's the best support you can give us because it really helps to, I don't know how YouTube works at some points. Make a great video and it will just get lost. But yeah, yeah. But we filmed some training videos. Some things are coming out. Something more interesting on table. What to do on table, especially if you're a top roller. So stick around. Tomorrow it should be out. And some videos I'm working on with Arm Wrestling Archives as well about history of the sport. That's also interesting. Um, yeah, I'm trying to keep myself busy in this time when I cannot really go out and coach and train like I want to, but it's at least something. A community is growing like crazy, and I'm very happy about that. A lot of new people coming in, and I think like before you guys start asking all the same questions that we have heard hundreds of times. This is why I make these videos, especially the small ones where you can find the answer. You're like, oh, okay, because the questions never change. Like I will know what almost like if you put on 10 guys that have never arm wrestled and they start arm wrestling, I know what they will ask. Like what will be the questions, and Um, once there was the My Gold Classic, if you guys like Guy Goodrich, My Gold, Richard Lopez, Travis Bagent, Silver, Mushroom doesn't just seem like it would help with any. Doesn't seem this like it would help with any rankings. Yeah, North America rankings. It's very hard. It's very hard to do because like USA is so big that and plus there's Canada, and it's very hard for the top guys to meet. And when I'm sometimes looking at the rankings, I'm like, have these guys even arm wrestle like each other? And it's very hard to like piece everything together. But the best is just to arm wrestle, just to go to competition. And the bigger arm wrestling gets, more maybe prize money, more things like whatever is your motivational factor will come in, and that will bring, what's the best way to determine the best in the world. Yeah, you just have one tournament in a year, like every country has their qualification. We have qualification for worlds and Europeans, and it's more like the top guys. If there's a free spot at some weight class, because like for every arm in every weight in every age or age group or whatever, uh, there's two spots from each country. So two Latvians can go to 75 kilo class, and if that spot is full, like I'm sorry, but number one, number two guys will go there. If number two guys he says he doesn't want to go, number three doesn't want to go as well, we will bring number four in. Yeah, but most countries it's very very strict rules because it's they have a lot of money involved in it, and yeah. Have you ever seen Brazilian fingers? Are they thick? Also, do you believe that some there's people who are stronger than 11? Like, do you think we have reached the absolute peak of arm wrestling in any way or shape or form? I don't believe it. I don't believe it's. First, arm wrestling is not a metric. You cannot say that this guy is stronger than this guy or beats this guy face based on nothing. Arm wrestling is very hard like this. We can only say guys that compete together and see how they do against each other. And if they compete multiple times and we have multiple different um, results, it's very hard to say. But if we get the same result over and over again, we can pretty easily say, this is why not, guys are looking at people like Rustam Babayev. Rustam goes up to super heavyweight. He's not at all. He's maybe 100 kilo guy on his best day ever. Small finger, small arm, everything, just a tank. I have not seen Rustam like really, really losing his class. Like when Rustam goes in his class, he destroys everyone. From that, like I think he hasn't lost as Lotitor he has been in, but we keep forgetting about it because he faces these big guys, and it's like, nah, like at some point he's not that good. And when we're looking at top eight, 95 kilo class, I'm like, I think Rustam has like, if you bet against, don't bet against Rustam, because he's so dominant at his weight, and he punched up just to to see if he can do it. He kind of failed, but because of his anthropometrics, but come down to his weight, like I think he's the most dominant world champ ever. I might not be correct. I have done a video on this. I should know this. But the same goes to Hajimur Zoloev. They're like, one time he had longer match with Alan Guerra and had a bad showing and didn't win the WAF World Championship. And everyone's like, he's through. He doesn't, he's not good at all. Never was. You know, you, it's you have to learn the sport when you are competing. First of all, I think the most people who are making opinions about the sport haven't really lived it. You haven't been to competitions. Like sometimes you will go to competition and you will just blast through everyone. You feel the super strong guy in your class. You go to overall, and guy from next class just wipes the floor with you, and you cannot do anything. You're like, oh no, like okay, there are levels, and then you see a guy in that same competition just blast through everyone, super strong, and then you see that guy go to international competition that's not even about worlds and get blasted by few guys, and you're like, oh, what's going on there? And then you see, like, I don't know, Zloty Tour, the same guy that blasted that guy get blasted. There are levels in arm wrestling for everything. We have never reached our peak, and we don't know when we will reach our peak. The peak really doesn't exist. Exists what is right now. We can say that, okay, Devon 2008 was the strong. Like, how do you know that? How do you know that? I love the argument of Alexei Voivoda. Like when 2000, I don't know which year, but 2006 or something, like Dennis and John had a super match, and John just manhandled Dennis and was, oh, imagine how strong Alexei was. I'm like, do you know that John was kind of retired when he came back? Like, really? The Pulling John movie, like, brought him back to arm wrestling. He was kind of like done and all, and not even in shape. This is why we talk about John's being so great when he came back, because he wasn't at first, because he needed to get back in groove. When everyone was like, nah, doesn't exist. Nah, you just know. Arm wrestling is, and when you go to practices, and this is another thing, the people that are really young in the sport, and they think that practice matters, where they will post a video of someone just getting, like, I destroyed him in practice, he didn't, he pinned me one time, maybe not even really. You go to competition, a guy gets first place, kills you in the second round, and you didn't even finish in top three, and that goes all your practice victories. Where are those practice medals? So I think for everyone to really understand arm wrestling, and before you comment and give your opinion on things, I would say you need to live it, especially in arm wrestling world. You really need to live it. You there are so many times. Well, someone will say, well, hey, like, coach, you're super strong. You're really strong. I'm like, yeah, I'm strong, but I know strong. I really do. I don't think you do. That's the difference. This is why like when I talk with a lot of people and everyone's like, yeah, you're like, how do you, like, I'm like, should I stay here, because I know what I can do, I cannot do. I have, like, right here in Latvia, I have pretty good tests to see how close I can get to world level in each weight class. But it doesn't mean they are the best guys. There are maybe some other killers. We like every time you will see someone rising up and he looks invincible, at some point someone's just gonna, like, yo, hey, I'm here, and takes you down. So there are, like, many aspects in the world of arm wrestling, many things that goes with all this, but just live it. Just figure out, go competition, go to practices, look at it critically. Losing in practice, who cares? I will go to practice. I will practice for 3 hours. In first hour, I'm just laying, just warming up. And someone will take a video of me warming up, and they will post it like it's the whole practice. And then I will put out a video where it's hour in, and just arm wrestling with everyone. And so they're like, oh, why didn't you post where you lost? I'm like, we weren't even really arm wrestling. I was warming up. And there's so many, like, experiences of this. Or the top guy goes to your club and everyone's attacking him, trying to bring him down. That's another thing. People think that just because you are super strong, you should just be able to arm wrestle with everyone. And there's one guy that can do this. His name is Devon Larratt. he can do it. He can really stand on table and take everyone and doesn't, you know, doesn't sweat. But if you go like the same goes to you. Like find someone who's a little weaker than you, not too much, but you have to really push it through. Try to stay on table with new guys coming in and changing up, and see how that works. When I do a seminar or something, go to different country. This is like everyone wants to arm wrestle with you, but I will get tired. So sometimes I will have my best matches with the strongest guys, and then I cannot do anything with the much weaker guys that I don't even feel in competition. You know, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's the reality." Again, go to competition, last place, first place. It's Arm wrestling is like that. You don't go to practice to win practice. You go to practice to practice. That's a super stupid idea to think that you can, by winning the practice will makes you something better. You go to practice, you get your, if like you like I will go and I will test myself. I'm like, okay, this still works. This doesn't work. I will do this. I will try. Sometimes if I have training, like I have training days. So let's say my back pressure is sore, so I cannot do a lot of things. I will do something different. Yeah. Okay. 7 hour lol. In 10 minutes you're put out. What? Okay. Okay. Jā, Jāni, vasara. Marta šodien skrēja. Netic, ka Marta skrēja. However, your pound for pound list was made by experts. Do you agree with where they put Engin above Haji and Rustam? About those two guys have more titles and most important to chase super heavyweights too. That's always a tricky question. I maybe would have done list a little bit differently, but again, Engin has there's something different than like with his frame Engin and where he competed. It's very hard for him to go up to super heavy because it's literally twice their size. But he was so dominant in some years and in all over the world. He was there in North America. He was here in Europe, everywhere. So yeah, it's very hard to put everything together on a list. I can say like 10 guys pound for pound. And I would say maybe one I can pick 100%. That's John Brzenk, without a doubt. Uh, yeah, I'm not that strong, but I really love to train. Hey man, like how else you gonna get stronger if you do not train? That's how you get stronger. Don't worry. Chicken for 7 hours a day. I have no one to spar with. I wish I could compete too. Uh, Thank you for all you do, man. Got to run. Tips cowboy hat off. There's definitely always someone better who's gonna dethrone the champ. Can be up for someone's eventually gonna come along hungrier. Yeah, but I'm I'm so appreciative to guys who can stay there for long. Like just looking at our Latvian scene, like Raimons Antonovic really like I don't even remember when he lost in his class. Giannis has lost in his class just to Vlad, and now Vlad dominates his class. Sanders and Normans. Sanders is the first guy that gave real trouble to Norman Thompsons. And before that, it was 10, 15-year legacies. So, and this is just our country. And there are guys that have been doing this in the world level, like Haji Murat, like Rustam Babayev, Irina Gladkaya, Makeyeva, so many names. And I feel people are waiting for them to lose, and when they lose, they forget all their success. And they kind of, because they want to see these flash and this and that, and there are so many guys that deserve more than they are recognized with. And yeah, this is why I want to bring more value to our Muslim community, not just for new guys coming in, but to respect for people who've been there, done that, built the sport. This is we are reaping the fruits of what they made. Ray, you have big hands for arm wrestling and know how to train for arm wrestling properly. Why are not elite yet? What are you lacking? Um, to be honest, I like we did Deep Inside series, and it's one. And starting from 2011, when I really got like really into arm wrestling, as soon as I started working as a coach, I put that in front of me. I'm also like I'm working as a coach for my team. I'm working with a lot of different athletes, here in Latvia. I'm I'm working with my gym. I'm president of Arm Wrestling Federation. I'm doing all these different things. I have my YouTube channel. I'm doing a lot of social media for different things. So for me, it's really management of my brain time, not physical time. I love to train. I'm always, but I don't have. I never like for I don't know how many years I had this motivation for me to be great. I'm like I love what I'm doing. So it's been some part of injuries, and it's been some part of me just having my attention divided in so many different things, and it still is. And I don't feel like it's gonna change, but hey man, see ya. But I feel like last year, at least when preparing for Frode, I like you can ask anyone in Latvia, I hit a different level just on motivation part because I really didn't have any motivation. I was like every time we would do like Europeans Worlds or something, I was doing the prep 12 weeks with everyone else, but I'm the one responsible for everyone's training. So if 6, 7, 8 guys of my team are going, I'm making the schedule for training for all of them. I'm figuring all the stuff they will do. I try and find sponsors. I'm buying tickets. I'm making accommodations. I'm talking with government and things like that. So I'm doing all this stuff together as well as prepping myself for World Europeans. And then you go to World or Europeans. I had good showings. I think I was sixth in world, seventh in Europe, something like that, in 80, 75 kilo. I don't even remember when. With one time with right arm, one time with left arm. I think that was my best placing, sixth or seventh. I think so. Yeah, seventh in the world with left arm in either 75 or 80 kilos. And in 80 kilos, I was sixth in Europeans with right arm. But I go there and I have Vladislaus, Kaspars, Rolands. Doesn't matter. Whoever competes doesn't matter. If I train you from day one or I just came there, like you have my full support. I will not waste any of my emotions of everything. So if you have seen me there, like Bojdero is like, man, you're so intense with this. And he sees that I'm very intense with this. I am. I really I love what I do. So I don't have time to focus on that. If if everything falls in place, I might have more to focus on myself because I love arm wrestling, I love training, I love all of that things together. So um, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the answer why I believe I haven't hit the what guys call elite level. Yeah. Stupid question, but do you think having an ego at table can hype you up at the table, improve performance, or make you a complete douche? Almost everyone you will see who are very successful in arm wrestling have an ego on table. They are very, they will say what they like. If the grip isn't right, they will tell you that. If referee made a mistake, if he feels like you won, he will tell you that. You need to have that. You need to be a kind of douche, on the table to win it. It really is. When you're overpower strong, you can shut the F up and just, do whatever. But that's when you are really, really strong. When you are not, most of the times, or you're trying to be that strong, but like the confidence comes with that. Like no one will start acting, like, oh no, my grip or something when they are confident. When you are not confident, that's when you will be like, oh my god, like grip or he might do this or that. So that's the big thing. If guy is really quiet, he's kind of confident in himself. If you go to store and grab for the last icy hot the same to someone else, use side pressure or back pressure. You just rip it out. Um, yeah, guys, we're an hour in. Appreciate everyone. So please, I really ask everyone who likes this channel and wants to see more, support us on Patreon. Link is in description as well as in top of the chat. So please, yeah, become Patreon, support this channel. Let's make arm wrestling great again. Yeah, I think that's it. So stay strong. Love arm wrestling, guys. See you soon.